What's guys, nice? Welcome back to Secret Base Trainer. This is episode 1 of our new podcast series. Going forward, don't know what we're going to call it yet. Maybe it's just going to be the Pokemon podcast. I kind of lean towards that, but we need to think about the name. GM is unavailable tonight. He sends his regards, so I'm going to solo it. And on this, our first episode, we're going to watch an episode of the Japanese anime, going back to the very beginning, open some packs, discuss upcoming sets, roll for our previous giveaways winner, and more. All right, so before we get started, if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, we'd love to have you. But we are also on both X and Instagram at SecretBaseTR, where we cover slightly different news. You may see some different contents from us there. So if you're on X or Instagram, and of course YouTube as well, we'd love to have you join us at the base. Finally, before we get into this episode, a bit later on, in our previous episode of State of the Game with Alex Cook, we promised a giveaway for some SRs and ARs from recent mega sets. We had a couple of entrants for those, so we'll draw that a little bit later in the episode. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. This is going to be the very first episode. I've probably seen it over a dozen times. And a couple years ago, actually, from this first episode all the way through Sun and Moon, I watched everything in like one sitting. But GM hasn't seen some of this. Maybe we'll do this episode again next week. But there is something in the future for Secret Base Trainer I want to do that involves stuff in the anime, things that the card game hasn't covered. So this is entertainment, but it's also kind of research. All right. And because this is a little bit more of a casual format of the podcast than some of the more episodic stuff like our market updates that we did before, we're going to have drinks and sit back and chill. And actually, I had a modeling shoot in Tokyo last week. There's this place like in Shizuoka, Japan, a brewery, and they have this imperial stout with coconut flakes and banana. I had my glass chilled, ready to go. It was just going to be perfect. And show prep took way too long. Glass is not chilled. Look, I get my snooty beer glass. This is not a wine glass, y'all. This is a beer glass for me to be a snob on our Pokemon podcast. But here we go. Oh, look at that. Isn't that so cool? The Japanese stuff is so classic. And I'm excited. Maybe some of you have seen the overseas anime, but a lot of this stuff was never even released outside of Japan. There's some banned episodes. We'll probably get into the Polygon one where it caused seizures. We'll do something about that. Some people aren't, collapsing on our show, but cheers. Imperial Stout with coconut flakes and banana. Wow. Nice. And in addition to that, we're going to open some packs as we go through, cover some topics, talk about collecting things. Again, later in the show, we'll do our giveaway drawing. But before we get any further, I want to ask all of you, do you know what this is? If you played any of the Switch games, you probably know. That's a big hint. But if you don't, let us know in the comments. What is this called specifically? What do you call this? Right now, scroll down in the comments. Let me know what this is called. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is called the Violet Book. So it's an in-game item the protagonist receives. It's important for the kind of later in the game. What's really cool is the Pokemon card game released this kind of jumbo version. And if you've seen on the channel in some of our shorts and different content before, this is actually my pack box. So all the stuff that gets opened in shorts goes in here first. And GM, I was expecting he was going to be here, so I was going to ask him. I have some Inferno X, the last, probably a little bit less than a box from random convenience store packs, because they had a probably the third or fourth wave of release several months ago. I picked up everything I could. And then Mega Symphonia. But he's not here, and he was big on the Inferno X, so we'll do these. Out of 11 packs, we'll save 2. These just stay in the box, just never open them. We'll open 9 tonight. Yeah, but Inferno X, that was a rough set. I actually ended the set. It's complete, all but 2 cards. And which 2 cards do you think I'm missing? It's the Charizard, the SAR, and then the MUR. Pretty bad. At some point, maybe I'll go back and get them, because being a master set collector, I want to get everything. But that was rough. Mega Symphony was a little bit better. I think I'm missing just a couple of cheap cards. Actually, the only MUR gold card I've got thus far has been the Gardevoir from the set. They pulled it from a loose convenience store pack, which is amazing. But beyond that, it's been pretty rough going. Okay, so pack 1, yeah, that's it. And you talk about what is it? Mega Brave with Lucario. That was hard. Haven't gotten that one. Abyss more recently. That's actually gone down in price quite a bit. One channel viewer, you know who you are, he said he wants to see the whole set, a video of that in a binder. So it's getting cheap enough now that it might be possible in the near future. Get the MUR and the SAR Darkrai, and then that set will essentially be complete. Um, Mega Dream EX as well. The Dragonite is not too bad. A lot of them are pretty nicely priced, if you can say that about cards that are as expensive as they are. Some of them pretty pricey though, of course. But that's pack 2. Let's go to pack 3 here. This is such a good episode. It's for reasons I'll explain later in the video. I love episode 1. It's just really cool. And if you've seen it, maybe you know what I'm talking about, because I like canon in franchises and things that I'm a fan of is very important to me, and this really connects a lot of things in a very special way. If you know what I'm talking about, let us know in the comments. Pack 3. Let's see here. Yeah, so as far as what's going on in the world of Pokemon, I had some good pickups recently. If you've seen on Shorts, as well as our posts on X and Instagram, you've seen I've been double sleeving S9, which is the Arceus set from Sword and Shield. Really a cool set. But I was going through it, looking at what I'm missing. That's a mean set, because you have Arceus cards like the V-Star Arceus that were quite competitively good, but then for some reason they threw in 3 Charizard cards as well, so it's a mean set. It's quite large for not being a end of the year set. But I had some good results. I had most of that in a deck box just waiting to be opened. So I've been going through and slowly double sleeving that, working towards completing that. Picked up a whole bunch of singles, SRs, a couple SARs, some CHRs from when the character secret rares were still in the card game. A lot of things that aren't too expensive, but just I noticed that there'll be a couple dollars under market price at different card shops I go to. So it's been pretty good overall, kind of in collecting. And a lot of people have, maybe if you've noticed, you've been watching what's been going on social media, which is why it's fun to follow a Secret Base Trainer like on X and Instagram, because people cover different things in different ways on the different platforms. There has been a dip in the card market. A lot of people attribute that to the 30th celebration set coming in September. I would say that is very much valid, but just like a lot of things, people lose attention quickly. A lot of the people who aren't in Pokemon aren't going to be here forever. They're going to lose focus. They're going to say, what am I doing collecting this kid's card game, and give up. That's why kind of a lot of the old OGs aren't as bothered about what's going on. I mean, for me being a set collector, it's hard because the silly things happening are affecting my ability to collect things at an efficient pace, where that hasn't been the case in years past. But there has been a dip. I've noticed that in the few things. I don't have a lot of things in my portfolio that are listed in spreadsheets. Some I need to work on, but I have noticed a dip in the things that I have recorded in different places. It is what it is. And hopefully this extends beyond. Isn't this the same artwork as the McDonald's promo? I think there were 5 cards from last year, the Japanese McDonald's promo pack. I think this is the art that you use in that. I still need to get a pack of that and complete that promo set. Talking about completing things, but it's been looking good. Oh, okay. Well, all right, we finished Mega Symphony. I'm gonna say we're not gonna open any more of this probably. They just have missing like 3 cards. Just gonna buy the singles. So in our very last pack of Mega Symphonia, we part ways with an AR. That's a cute card. Okay. All right, that's the pack opening for today. But it's been good for the most part. The collection has been progressing, double slaving things, slowly recording things, and I have noticed a lot of things have decreased in price. I'll go in and I'll look at, like, for example, the Mega Dream EX, the Pikachu SAR that I really want, the Trust Pikachu, that's gone down a lot. Like the Dragonite, the MUR for that, the SAR. A lot of things are going down in price. I don't think it's just celebration. I think it's a lot of people are gonna, when the dust settles, you have a lot of crypto bros in Pokemon. A lot of people, the investor bro class, the people, housewives like in Japan who will say, I can, hop onto a lottery. And this was happening, around 2020, beginning in 2020 as well. Housewives saying, hey, I don't really like Pokemon. It's kind of popular, so it's fun. But also I can hop on a lottery. And if I win a box, I can flip it on Mercari and make $50. That's easy. Why not? So a lot of people are, with recent system changes and the different things they're implementing, most of them are, I will argue, are not good. But I think people are going to get bored. They're going to get embarrassed, really, to say, this is, what am I doing? This is a kid's game. And that they had before 2020, they're going to revert to that. And then you have other games. You have One Piece and other things that are going to take people's attention away. People get bored pretty easily. So I'm very much hoping that it only goes down from here. Prices continue to slowly track back. We're never going to get to it the way it was, pre-2020. Ooh, wow. I have some stories to tell you at some point. But it's looking good right now, especially in light of what's happened in the past year or two. It's kind of a good place to be in. And as far as what's coming up now, of course, the next thing we have here in Japan, we have the Storm Emeralda, the Rayquaza set on the 31st here, July 31st. I'll probably do a live opening for that. I'm going to do my usual convenience store rounds, pick up any lotteries I happen to win. I think at this point, I've gotten one box. I believe it's actually from the Pokemon Center, which is kind of funny. It's fitting because they're implementing specifically for the celebration set. Pokemon has actively been colluding with the Japanese government to get people to move on to the My Number system. It's a way for them the government to more closely track their citizens' behavior. There's, of course, a financial incentive on their part for it, but there have been major concerns about it restricting people's freedom and privacy. And I think when I last checked, kind of the 20 to 40 demographic, I bet about 85% of the population had voluntarily opted to sign on to the My Number program. And it's like an ID card, basically. But Pokemon, because Japan, as well as other places, large swaths of the Japanese population has an addiction to Pokemon cards, and the government has very well seen that, and they are actively colluding. You have politicians specifically talking about this. They are actively colluding with the Japanese government to try to push people, because they cannot, by law right now, force people to get onto the program, but they can make life harder for you and add incentives like this. So if you are a Japanese citizen and you want to buy Pokemon products from the Pokemon Center online, you have to go through their My Number system. You have to register and do all that stuff. And this summer we have a really cool tournament promo, one of those 2000 in the world promos, and the play at home, where you create a deck and submit it, and you could win it in a lottery as well. And that's all. You have to be registered for the My Number system as well for that. So not a great place to be. But what's funny about this is when they started saying 30th celebration coming in September, and then they said, we're going to implement it. So anything you want to pre-order or lotteries you want to submit for, it has to be before September. So you had this rush of people getting in. And, if Secret Base Trainer, don't trust the government, not your friends. They don't care about you. Anything they're doing is entirely for their own benefit. So not going to do anything with the My Number system. But it got a lottery, squeezed in, last chance to win something before it becomes impossible for non-My Number card holders. So that's kind of fitting. I'm glad I got it. It's frustrating if you look in my account history. I've been buying things. I've been going to the Pokemon centers in Japan since the Diamond Pearl era, but like online since Sun and Moon, maybe before. And in spite of all that, you can't look and say this is a long-time customer. He's been a faithful customer, consistently buying from us. And based on his address, and there aren't other accounts linked to it, you can't look at that and say he's not a scalper. He's not someone dishonest. He's been with us for over a decade, the better part of 2 decades now. No, that doesn't count. Not enough. You have to submit to our number system. So, fair play. Pokemon Company, TPC, they're not your friends, but whatever you have to do means to get your cards. I got them. So I got 1 box from Storm Emeralda coming. Thank you, Pokemon Center. I'm gonna enjoy that. That's probably gonna go in the sealed collection because owing to GM's bad influence, I have a sealed collection now. And then I think so that day I'll pick that up. Hopefully, I think as of the recording of this video, I've submitted for 35 different lotteries online, different card shops, electronic shops. So I would say probably before we get to next week, it'll probably be about 40. It's kind of winding down, but it'll probably be about 40. So right now, it's hard to say. There have been a lot of results that have come back and I haven't been selected. But I have 1 sealed box. I'd say the Rayquaza set's going to be pretty mean, but there's also with this kind of downturn with card prices, I think there's some pre-30th exhaustion. So I would expect on next Friday to see a bunch of people rushing around trying to get as many packs as they can at convenience stores. I'd say I would expect to get about 2 boxes worth of loose packs, and we'll open that on a live stream next week. And then the next thing thereafter is the 30th celebration. That's on September 16. It's still really early in the process, and a lot of the lotteries that have been available have been really big outfits, like your Lawsons, Pokemon Centers, things like that. I've submitted for 14 different lotteries across the different products. Amazon, Pokemon Center, Pokemon Center. I'm just going to submit anyway, even without the my card system, just out of spite. I'm always going to submit for it. I think I won 1 thing from 1 shop. I don't remember which it is. But then you have this slow trickle. I heard rumblings yesterday that they're going to continue to have some limited releases of Inferno X, Start Deck 100. But the Storm Emeralda, without winding down and getting things kind of depending on you being able to get to convenience stores when they have a re-up, the next real big thing is going to be 30th celebration. And again, most outfits have not offered lotteries for that yet. So like with me at 35 lotteries for Storm Emeralda, I'm going to be looking at 50 plus for celebrations by the time it's said and done. Yeah, my spreadsheet for Abyssai in particular, because I think I'm missing 6. I picked up some singles yesterday. I think I'm missing 6 cards out of that. And the only pricey ones there are the Mega Darkrai, the MUR, and SAR. Everything else is cheap enough that when I find a clean copy, I'll go grab them. But I was looking at the total I had invested into the set thus far. And it's rare that I'll invest a number and not beat it with what I pull. Like Mega Dream, sure, I opened about 22 boxes worth, but I pulled 2 Mega Gengar EX SARs, made some money selling one of those back. Got about 70% of the set through. This is ridiculous. It should have been 95%, that many boxes. But I definitely, buying singles of all those compared to buying the boxes and pulling what I did, I came out ahead. Abyssai wasn't the case, so I'm really kind of on the fence. Storm Emeralda being a Rayquaza set. You talk about the market dipping. I have seen Rayquaza card prices increasing by quite a lot. And that's kind of the case whenever a particular Pokemon card gets a new version. A lot of the prices jump. I'm kind of on the fence though. Darkrai isn't the fan favorite that Rayquaza is, so I'm inclined to buy as much as I can to outspend on this set as opposed to the Abyssai, but it's really hard to say. And maybe the demand is going to be there such that I can't get a lot, but it's ridiculously hard to complete sets, given that you have these MURs. We've never had cards of this low pull rate before, and SARs are already hard. I think, what was it? For example, Inferno X, 6 SARs in the set, 1 SAR out of every 6 boxes. We're talking about, assuming we're straight down the line, 1 Charizard SAR and 36 boxes. That's pretty mean. The MUR, isn't it like 1 in 100 boxes or something like that? It's even worse. Pretty bad for Mega. And so like GM, we were talking in a previous episode of a different series on the channel. The MURs are so rare that you should just pretend like they're not part of the set. So MURs are kind of like if you get it nice, but you have a complete set without them. That's kind of, for now, I don't feel a sense of urgency to complete the sets. Because Rayquaza is as popular as it is, I think I'll probably go and try to get as much as I can and open on the channel. But Mega just has not been good for a lot of master set collectors in particular. And here, this is my favorite scene in the original anime, Ho. And this is, of course, Ho is Gen 2 Johto legendary Pokemon. And this is, of course, sometime before Gold, Silver, and then Crystal came out in Japan. But this is really cool because they're already previewing a legendary Pokemon from the next generation this early on. And you imagine you're in the States, like, what was it, 99 Pokemon came to the States? And they're already showing you Gen 2. And at the time, people maybe weren't as connected as they are now and didn't make the connection that, oh, this is something that's coming. But that was really cool for me to see. And even now, Ho is probably my favorite Pokemon. And to see that shown in episode 1, that really is cool. So that's why I like this episode of the anime so much. Any other Ho-Oh fans out there? If that is your favorite Pokemon, please let me know in the comments. That's really a cool episode. And my kids and I, actually, we've been watching some of the early stuff as well, and it's just so different than the modern stuff. Modern, it's almost hard to watch. It's just so polished, so commercial. This just feels like some people who are having fun making a kids show. I think that's why there's so much love for the early stuff, like in the card game, the old back cards, the Japanese stuff. It just had a different spirit about it. But that was the first episode. It's timely because it's I think we'll go on next while that's playing. Let's go to our giveaway. I want to listen to the song. It's across the board. It's just such a good series. We'll stop that there, and then let's switch over to our giveaway. Okay, so 2 channel veterans, SCA3744 and Jim. Thanks for entering, lads. We will roll for that now. Okay, here we go. And this is again for some Mega SRs and ARs. Who's it going to be? Jim or SCA3744? Ooh, oh, SCA3744 got it. I thought Jim had it. Okay, all right. Congratulations, SCA3744. We'll get in touch with you about getting those cards your way. And Jim, thank you for trying as well. So that wraps up our first episode. Jim, actually, we have a lot of cool stuff planned. Alex Cook, 4-time world championship competitor, will be back. We'll probably do some things with him. We want to have him on the podcast specifically for kind of a longer form thing. We'll do some shorts with him. Of course, our 30th celebration video, where Alex looked at every card that had been previewed, that had been teased. Each of the 30 cards, really, it is without a doubt Alex's analysis about how good those cards are, why they were added, what should have been added in their place. Best on the internet. You'll not find a better analysis of the 30th celebration set. But we're going to continue to put those down in shorts as well, break them down card by card. I think we did the Pikachu, the base Pikachu, base Charizard, and we have Misty from the gym Heroes. I think that'll be our next short analysis with Alex soon. GM will be back next Friday for episode 2 of the podcast. And then probably before that goes live, expect us to be back. Hopefully GM will be here for this. We'll do a live opening of Storm Emeralda. Rayquaza going for the MUR. How cool would that be to pull? All right. But thank you everyone for stopping by Secret Base Trainer. Again, if you are on X or Instagram, we are as well on Secret Base Trainer, Secret Base TR on both platforms. And if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, we'd love to have you subscribe there as well. Thanks for stopping by at the base. See you very soon on Secret Base Trainer.
Secret base trainer.